Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, Sherelle. Seems like I'm in the crossfire right now for a post that I didn't think I was saying anything really terrible on. But let's let the room load, and I guess we'll start off the show with that since it seems to be a hot topic at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'll let the room load. I'm going to start the clock, and then we'll get into it. Okie dokie. All right. So I guess let's start with Yara and Jovi, since that seems to be the hot button issue at the moment.
Let's jump right in.
Since we're talking about Happily and the tell-all, let's start with them, which I had no intentions in covering, but now I guess I laid my bed, so I have to lay in it. So I had posted on Instagram the scene where Jovi and Yara are in like the restaurant, and she's upset. And my words verbatim are, okay, but you knew that Jovi worked offshore for months at a time, so this shouldn't come to a shock to you. Plus, you have Jovi's mom, who's always been there for you. I consider myself lucky to have some support and not totally alone whilst raising my newborn, but that's just me. I don't think that's blasphemy.
So, okay, you said the same things on my show. No one said anything. So what's the big deal?
So Yara replies, firstly, when I was in Ukraine, I didn't know that Jovi would be leaving for more than a month. And yes, I was not ready for the fact that he would leave for 4 months. And Mom Jovi lives an hour and a half away from me. She cannot come to me every day, and she has her own life. I came to America to live with Jovi and not with her. And what's wrong with the fact that I want to be with Jovi a little longer? There's nothing wrong with wanting to be with your new husband. Okay, That's one. If you didn't know that Jovi worked offshore, like before you got here for months at a time, I don't know if I believe that. Because hasn't he done that for quite a while?
I was under the impression that he did.
My point in that post was that there are far worse positions you can be in than the position she's in right now. And that maybe instead of looking at all the negatives, that she does have some positives and that she's not totally alone. I mean, she calls herself a single mom. I don't know if people agree with that. I've never had an issue with Yara or Jovi. I was just looking at the TV and projecting my thoughts.
Which we do every day. That's what we get paid to do.
And people are like, well, you have no right to talk about her. She's a female. So now I can only talk about male cast members. So that's number one. So I can't talk about any more females anymore. Thank you, Jade. We'll get into that with Chris. Thank you, Jade. I appreciate that. But and then people are like, oh, she just had a baby. You're knocking her hormones. You're knocking postpartum. You're knocking.
If you were knocking hormones, you would have said the word hormones.
Yeah, like why are people putting words in my mouth? And I stand by what I said. Like I don't retract anything. Look at all the goods you have for you. You have a husband that's making good money. Does it suck that he has to go away for months at a time?
She's lucky he has a job.
Absolutely, but
some people don't even have jobs.
He's making good money on them rigs, right?
Yeah, real good money.
Yeah. B, be lucky that you actually have a cast member that actually works.
Yeah.
Look at Andre. 4 seasons in, still trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
So Jovi actually puts in the time to work, and he's providing for his family. Then she's got Gwen, who was there for Yara, the 7 months during COVID when he was away, or however long it was. She, and she lives an hour and a half away. That sucks, but it's not like she lives in the Ukraine where, I mean, there's ways to go back and forth. She's not alone, and she's just always negative. And I totally get that it sucks being alone with a newborn or alone and newlywed. But instead of like just focusing on all the negatives, be like, okay, because there are people who have it so much worse than she does. Look at Chrissy from Sister Wife. She came here from South Africa. I mean, it was, she came here from South Africa with her kids. She was on a TV show. I mean, and now she's in a very bad place. She has no money. She has no support, and we're all trying to help her.
It makes no sense. Let me tell you what I think happened, John. There was some kind of troll in the comment section that was going to troll no matter what you said, and then she picked up on it and ran with it. This is nothing. It's really nothing. You have an opinion. You're entitled to it, just like everyone else.
Us as bloggers do.
Yeah, and plus that's our job.
Yeah. Like people follow bloggers for their opinions.
Unless this is some kind of reverse psychology where she wants your name in her mouth, where she wants you to, say her name and like,
it could just be so much worse for Yara. And I don't
so much worse.
She sees that, she talks about the Ukraine and Russia and, how with Yara, it's always the grass is always greener. Well, if I was there and if I was this and I lived over there and I was, but you're here
and go
and look at the good things that you have.
And your husband's working, making really good money. He could be unemployed. I wouldn't give this 2 minutes of my time. It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm getting eaten alive on Instagram right now. Like, I'm like, whoa, people are telling me I'm making fun of pregnant women, that I'm making fun of postpartum, that I'm making fun of new mothers. Like, it's insane. I'm like, all I'm saying is like, just be happy for like what you got. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I would say nothing.
It's just insane. In my own situation, what is this? Thank you, Stephanie. I just started watching. I practice law and abuse of the system is one of the few things that enrages me. I knew you were working your tail off. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
That was sweet.
And I have no disrespect to any of that. I'm just saying, like, Yara just always like doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Bitching about like, is that a Gucci bag?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pussy. And then people say, oh, you can't compare people. You can't compare two different, but that's what a comparison is for.
Yeah.
And I see Yara, who is like bitching about like, is that a Gucci bag? And then like, does it suck that Jovi's away? And but like, look how good you have it.
Yeah.
Compared to real single moms who have like 3 kids with no support, no help, no family. Chrissy, so
you ain't living on a farm taking care of animals.
Yeah, she's not Julia, eating the chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
And that's my point. So
I wouldn't give this 2 seconds of my time. It's an intent for you to either say her name or make a big deal out of, or some troll that's making more out of a situation that it wasn't. Because if you wanted to talk about someone's hormones, you would use the word hormones.
Yeah, like I would have said, look at Yara and her hormones.
Yeah.
Like this crazy bitch is acting up again. Like, with Kenya and Vivica A. Fox. Oh, these hormones got me going. You know what I mean? I didn't say anything about that. I'm just saying that just be happy for the positives. And don't act like, I came here, I didn't know. You knew something, it's always she doesn't know. And this is a surprise.
And if she wanted some more sympathy or some understanding, this is not how you go about it. This is not making us more Yara lovers, more sympathetic at all. Now you were looking at you like something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
This is not a big deal.
And like, I don't feel like what I said in that post was not even, I mean, I said some shit in my life. And like, that was like, that was rated G. That's like going to see The Lion King, in theaters. Like I'm just saying, like, look, just be happy about that you have help and that you're not completely alone in a foreign country with nobody.
But you have people like that complain about everything. Like, oh, my life is so terrible, so bad. This is the biggest thing in the world. Do you forget we're going through a pandemic and some people don't even have their lives? Come on, Yara, get over it. It's crazy.
So that's it. I just wanted to thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. It's just silly, and I'm not going to feel bad about saying, look at the silver lining. Look at the pot of gold, at the end of the rainbow. There's stuff to be grateful about.
You're reminding her life could be worse, a lot worse. I mean, come on now. It's crazy.
My life, I had a foreign father, and I had a mother, and he left us, and she had no support, and then she fell into stuff, and then she wound up dying. So, I mean, I could see that from my own personal history, and then I could look at Yara and be like, girl, you don't know how good you have it, just coming from my own eyes as a child. But whatever, it's cool. If you guys want to think that I am making fun of pregnant women or hormones or postpartum or whatever, go ahead and run with it. So let's just drop this because I don't want to even talk about her anymore.
And I don't want to talk about her no more ever for the rest of my life.
Me neither.
We're done with that.
I'm sorry. Because I told you, I told you when we were speaking on your channel earlier that like the only people I'm interested in are Angela and Tiffany, and like as for the rest,
you never know, John. That could be what's really bothering her is that we don't like the show, except for Angela and Tiffany.
And people are forgetting it's like edited and scripted to hell. And that this was filmed like a year ago. And people they need this Yara and Jovi, her getting upset about. I bet you she never even was upset about it.
I know. Yeah.
How many storylines have we seen that it's just for the story?
Maybe that's what she's upset about. Because on my channel we were calling out the phony storylines. Maybe that's what. Maybe we were getting too close to home. Like.
And I just wanted her to see like that there's more out there and that she should be happy for what she has. And even though times may be sucky right now, at least she has something and not nothing. And that's that. All right, so let's go to I'm going to bounce back to the tell-all because I want to talk about Brittany.
Okay. Oh, are you sure we're going to do it? Let's do it.
Let's talk about Brittany. All right.
Okay.
Because I have a little bit of information about what happened.
You do? Okay.
So they all flew in. Brittany flies in. And obviously we all know that Brittany was a no-show. And then what was his name? Terrence had her on the iPhone. I think that was his name.
I can't remember his name.
Whatever his name was. Brought her in. So I'm hearing that she flew in and then Brittany left at 2:00 in the morning that night. So why did she fly all the way to New York just to leave? I was of the hairdresser. Like
I know it makes no sense.
And then when she was on the tell-all on the iPhone on FaceTime, she was like, all done up, and Sean's like, "Well, you look nice now. I mean, you got all this done. What happened? Like, I want to know what happened, and why she did that. And she really just screwed herself over. I mean, she kind of screwed herself over multiple times, but TLC kept giving her passes. So I'm hoping that this is the last time we're ever going to see Brittany because you all know that I can't stand her.
Are you gonna tell us what happened?
That's it. She left at 2:00 in the morning. She got a ticket and she left. But like I'm trying to find out more. But I know she left at 2 a.m. and they had only gotten there a different time, so she wouldn't even have the time to like go for like to see hairstylists and this that. And then she was thinking she was like like Barbara Streisand, like thinking she was like a diva in like well, I don't have this, and where's my basket of fruit, and where's my champagne, and where's this? You guys didn't meet my demands. Who does she think she is?
Well, she went on live the next day after the first tell-all aired, and she said that she didn't go because she just found out at the last minute Yazan was going to be there, and why does he have to be a part of her storyline? And she said basically they chose him over me. That's what she said. But she keeps changing the stories.
But she knew, like they already have an idea what's gonna.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
So
what's important is that she left at 2 a.m., which is weird, and she said
that's very weird.
it's weird. She is acting like Mariah Carey. Like, I don't know who you think you are, but as far as Colt and Vanessa, what are your thoughts on their marriage?
I was that that's not gonna last. There, I said it. I just don't think it is. I mean, but
Do you
I
think
wish
that
them the best of
Debbie
luck.
had no idea that they got married?
No, she totally knew. So that's what made the tell-all so good. It's because Colt is a veteran, so is Debbie. So they're all there, and they knew how to play up to the cameras. Like Colt making faces. Did you see him?
Oh
And,
yeah,
and cussing people out. It was
I
good.
have to say that Colt. I actually think that Debbie was the MVP of the whole.
She really
tell-all.
was. She was.
She really carried it. They should have kept her on the whole time. But I not really sold that Debbie had no idea. And then when they said that, she was like, "Oh," she's like, "Well, can I?" Debbie's very fiery, so I would have expected a bigger reaction out of her.
None of it made sense. It was all made up. You leave Vegas that has over 3,000 chapels on every block to go to Reno to get married. Okay, that makes sense. You could have just took your mom down the street to anywhere and got married. They have drive-through weddings here. You don't even have to get out the car.
But
Debbie catered the wedding.
Yeah. No, I had True on Vanessa's ex-husband last night, and I was, because they had stated that Vanessa had said that, she cheated on him with Colt, and she was looking to get out of the marriage, and it was a bad marriage, and basically True, her ex-husband, said everything she said was true.
Oh, so it was a bad marriage.
He owned up to it. He didn't say anything was a lie. He pretty much agreed with it. So
well, I'm confused. There's no animosity because you get cheated on. Like just
I thought that would have blown my head, but
it's like here, Cole, you're right. I'm bad. Go ahead and take her. What? Did I miss something?
Yeah, and then especially watching your newly ex-wife on TV gallivanting with Colt.
Did we miss something, John? What in the hell is going on?
My insides. I don't think I could take it. But he was super cool about it. I have to give him a lot of credit because didn't seem to faze him not one bit. And I wish I had that I don't know, stealthiness in me.
No, I'm not buying it. It doesn't make any sense. Who is not bitter, not one iota? Could it be the passing of time that he got over it? I'm confused.
I think their divorce was finalized last summer. I'm pretty sure of it because I think I posted about it. And then they were only married for a couple of years, and they'd only been prior to that they dated for 3 or 4 years before that. So it was it wasn't a long relationship. But it was still a marriage at the end. You know what I mean? And then seeing, I also asked him about Vanessa possibly being pregnant. And he had said the last time he talked to her or saw her that he asked her and she had just said that she was getting fat, and that was that. So I don't know. And Colt likes to play tricks on people, and I'm sure he could get Debbie. I don't know if she's pregnant. I wish I knew. I mean, we'll find out sooner or later when...
I think she is. I don't know why I think she is.
Whether she is or isn't, we'll find out, soon, because, there's a clock. But we'll see. I hope that, and I'm trying to be optimistic, just like I'm trying to be optimistic for Yara, but I'm hoping that this is the marriage that sticks and they work it out. If I were Vanessa, I probably wouldn't have married him so quickly, knowing that he had cheated on everybody he's ever been with. I mean, it was
That's
Melissa,
true.
then it was Jess, and then it was Julissa, the girl I interviewed from Mexico. She, and then then he, and I think he kept cheating on them with Vanessa. So maybe Vanessa was the one he always wanted and couldn't get, and now he has her, and maybe that'll be it for them. If it were me and if I were Vanessa, I would have wanted like a 10-year engagement just to make sure
Oh my God.
that everything was on the up and up.
10 years. No, I mean, he's definitely, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have. So soon. She didn't want to. So how does she justify that? Remember she said on the show, would it be okay if we stayed engaged for like a year or something like that? And then the next thing you know, we did it. It's crazy. It was good television though.
It was good. Like, the single life, wasn't bad. I enjoyed it a lot more than what's on Happily right now. I can tell you that. And the nice thing, which I also believe, is that Vanessa and Debbie seem to really love each other. So that's something that is new. So maybe that'll help their relationship and being faithful, Colt's faithfulness to Vanessa. I don't see Vanessa cheating on Colt.
But the other way around, I could.
But they seem to have a really good relationship, and I know that they care about each other. And True, who is Vanessa's husband, also said that, pretty much everything about Vanessa was spot on, how she acts on camera as opposed to real life. The one thing he did say was that, there was one scene where she was cursing a lot, and he said that's usually not her mouth, but whatever. Molly and Luis.
Do you know Molly?
I've spoken to her a bunch of times. Yeah.
What's she like?
She's super sweet. Love her,
is she?
a lot. And she's how she's spoken to me. I never met her in person, but how she's spoken to me, she's that's how she speaks on Pillow Talk or the show. What I liked about the tell-all, and I'll tell you this, like when people didn't like somebody on the show, whether it be Luis or, when he was there and he was spending too much time, or when Brittany was on the iPhone, they were like, get them off, get rid of them. That I appreciated that. They're like, they're wasting time.
I don't know why I'm looking at the chat today, but Julie's saying that Molly had on too much bronzer.
Yeah, Molly is going to be in our Bronzer Hall of Shame. Me and Sherelle are going to make a Bronzer Hall of Shame.
No, was it bad, John? Wasn't it bad?
Yeah, she had like just a touch too much of bronzer.
So everyone's saying she's sweet, though.
Molly's sweet as could be, and I do like her, but much like Dolores, maybe just a little. She should have laid off the bronzer. And we should make a page, the Bronzer Hall of Shame. And we'll pick. I think I'm going to do that when we get off this live. After, to be honest with you. John and Sorrell present to you the Bronzer Hall of Shame.
No, because I feel bad because you're saying she's a sweetheart. We don't want to do that, but
well, Dolores is sweet too, but the girl wore too much bronzer. I love Dolores to death as well, but
oh God, John,
you got too much.
Do you remember when we were talking about Dolores and someone said they were going to call the NAACP?
Oh, I said she just took Rachel Dolezal's job.
I feel bad. Don't look. I'm looking in your chat. They're naming people with too much bronzer. Oh my God.
I'm going to start the Bronzer Hall of Shame. And we're going to start a new page, and we're gonna point out people who just wear just a little bit too much bronzer. And it's not even a dig, because I do love Molly and I do love Dolores, but
also you have to add Teresa Giudice.
Oh,
she doesn't put too much on her face, but her body.
Melissa Gorga wears too much bronzer.
Melissa Gorga, yes. We could start a club, John. I feel bad. We can't do that. But it sure would be funny.
I mean, Wendy Williams has the fall of shame when people fall. So why can't we have the bronzer hall of shame?
Do you watch Wendy Williams?
Oh, I love Wendy.
Did you see the other it was Friday when she showed us her feet?
Oh yeah.
What's
I
wrong
had no idea. I was wondering why she like started wearing sneakers all the time.
Yeah.
But she's got that lymphedema. And it's bad. Like, you know, don't forget she was on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, albeit it was like 10 years ago now. But she had those little dancing heels on for Dancing with the Stars, and I guess somewhere in between here and there, like the lymphedema came up.
It's bad. So this is what I'm wondering. You know, she makes it no secret that she has breast implants, right?
Right.
If that's like some kind, and she got the older ones, you know, from back in the day. If her body is rejecting it somehow, I mean, her feet were this big. And I usually don't see that unless you're on like maybe I seen it on 600 Pound Life.
600 Pound Life, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what's going on with Wendy, because that's not normal.
I like Wendy because she always, like, you know, she doesn't hide anything, you know, like, you know, about her past with the drugs. And did you watch the movie?
I love the movie. I love the movie.
Really good. I loved it. But she kind of she's like an open book, and I appreciate that from her.
I like Wendy from the movie. I hated Kevin.
Oh, in the movie Kevin?
Her husband, yeah, her ex-husband. He's just a jerk.
Yeah. And we went to go see Wendy 3 times. We were in her studio audience, hung out with Suzanne.
You really went to the Wendy Williams show?
Oh yeah, 3 times.
What was it like?
I mean, we were in the audience, but it's just like how you watch it on TV. Like, you know, when they cut to commercial, like Suzanne will come and talk to everybody, and you know, then they have like a couple of comedians who make you guys laugh.
Yeah.
It's like a long process. So like we got there at I think the taping was at 8 or 9, and like you had to be there hours early. But it was like a nice. They were good days. Like it was, you know, we enjoyed it. We did it 3 times, so we didn't hate it.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
But it's been a while since we've been. Now, like, you know, because of the corona, they don't have the studio audience. But everything in New York is lifting right now.
Same here.
Like you don't have
to. Are you going to wear your mask?
No, you don't have to wear masks anymore.
I know, it's so scary. Same here. I'm wearing my mask. Are you going to wear yours?
I hate the mask. I'm not even going to front. Like
you're not going to wear the mask.
If you're vaccinated and, you know, you're good and you're healthy and you don't have to wear the mask, I'm all for no mask. You know, you still have to wear it if you're on a bus or you know, public transportation, but it's pretty much lifted everywhere. I could think. So
my son is graduating on Tuesday, and everyone's going to be there without a mask. People are like, oh, no, we got to get back to life sooner or later. I'm going to be the only one with gloves, mask, shield.
I always hated the mask. I'm not going to front. But obviously, you know, plus like me and Cody are we're like, you know, delivery drivers. So it was really imperative that we be safe. But now, I mean, everything's so almost back to normal now.
It really is. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy that I feel like the world's almost itself again, as opposed to, you know, just everybody staying away from each other. And
doesn't it feel like we've been to jail for a year?
Yeah, like the whole world's been to jail.
I feel like we've been to jail and everything's different. Like,
and like you get back to the mask too. It's like you can't see your face. So if you're smiling at somebody,
yeah,
you know, or there's like a lot you lose. Like, you know, if you wink, it's, you know, it's just like, I don't know. I'm happy to be done with it. And Elizabeth said, I'm wearing my mask so I go to the grave. No, like you know, if everybody, you know, half the country, I think they said today was vaccinated, like half the country, And I don't know. I feel like everybody should feel like themselves again. You
I
know,
mean, V got the shot yesterday, and she said she felt fine. It just made her very sleepy, and now she can go out. Like she's fine now.
yeah, we got ours at a Rite Aid. We went, and we were
Did you
fine.
feel sleepy?
It was like, you know, I was fine. Like we didn't get anything. And you know, I'd always figured, like, you know, since we were delivery drivers and this, that, and the other, and we were, you know, working in New York and New Jersey, like at the outbreak, you know, when it first hit in New York and New Jersey were like the hardest hit, that I probably would have died because, you know, I have asthma and I had pneumonia.
You have asthma?
I had pneumonia 4 times.
Oh my God.
Like I have the worst immune system known to man. I had mumps when I was 13, that with the MMR vaccine.
Oh wow.
I had the croup. I was
You had what?
The croup.
What is
when
that?
I was a kid. It's like crappy, like really hard sickness. I had chickenpox so bad. I think I was like patient 0 in my school. I think I'm the kid that gave the whole school chickenpox.
Oh my God.
Like, I went to school in 3rd grade for like 3 months because I had chickenpox so bad in my ears, it down my throat. Like it was,
oh my God, John.
This thing is a pock mark from when I scratched a chicken.
Now, is chickenpox an old disease? I don't think people have chickenpox anymore, right?
There's a vaccine for it now. Although I think that having the chickenpox is like a rite of passage. I do, because like growing up, like, you know, everybody had the chickenpox. Like, you know, oh, they're out for chickenpox. I mean, it was hard. Like I went through it. I was chickenpox at 29. As an adult, chickenpox is brutal. But going back, like my immune system sucks. And I was amazed that I never got it. And I'm happy that the world is getting back to normal. But hey, Perry. Oh, is that Perry?
No, come here, Damien.
Hello, Damien. Damien.
Hello, how you doing? Hello.
Yeah, if you had chickenpox, then you get shingles. So everybody who has chickenpox can get shingles, which is also not fun.
Yeah, I heard that's painful.
Yeah, that's not fun. Everybody got. Well, I had mono too. Thank you, Cooch, for reminding me.
You had mono?
I had mono at 23.
The kissing disease?
I had it all. Like I am a walking encyclopedia of sickness.
Wow.
So I'd assumed that I was going to get corona like that. If I look at somebody who's sick, I get sick. But thank God, nothing happened. Still here, despite what some haters, you know, sure a lot of haters wished it on me. But here I am. Haha, I won. So here we are. All right.
John, you've been putting out really good work, working really hard. So this weekend you were working your butt off, and I did not leave the couch. I was watching this movie on Netflix called Halston, of the designer. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
It was a good
Gloria, movie. Right? No, Gloria Allstead. What's her name? No, Gloria.
No, that's the woman. This is a fashion designer named Roy Halston.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about Gloria Vanderbilt for some reason. Go ahead.
Well, Gloria Vanderbilt. Isn't that Anderson Cooper's mom?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a really, really good show. So whenever you get a day off, you and Cody should watch it. Do you binge on Netflix sometimes?
Yeah, but okay, so like me and Cody were talking about this last night. You know, my favorite show growing up was Roseanne. And when she got fired, I vowed to never watch an episode of like The Connors, which I haven't.
Wait a minute. You mean recently when they tried to revamp the show?
Well, yeah. So, you know, they fired Roseanne, and Roseanne was like my second mom. Like I consider her a mom. Like, you know, right after my mom died, Roseanne came on. And like I used to sit in front of the TV and like I just love Roseanne. I felt like I was a Connor. and they rebooted it back in 2018, and then she said what she said, and then she got fired. And then they revamped it just to Connors without Roseanne.
Come on, you didn't watch that?
I have not watched one episode.
What did you hear about it? I wonder how did they do it without Roseanne?
I don't know, but it's still on now. It's like it's on its third season.
It's still on?
It's on its third season. I was telling Cody last night, I'm like, maybe we should like binge on the Connors.
You gotta take a peek because I want to know how did they do this without Roseanne.
I feel bad watching it because there's no Roseanne. Like, I don't want to. I said vehemently, I will never watch a show without Roseanne, and I haven't. But I'm like, now I'm kind of curious. Like, I kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, Cody's like, let's just do it. I'm like, I said I wouldn't do it though, and I stayed true to it.
Well, did the husband come back?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Well, he came back because how Roseanne ended was that they killed off Dan in the season finale.
They killed off Dan?
When the original show ended back in like 98. And then when they rebooted it, Roseanne back in 2018, they brought him back and they were saying it was just a dream, never, she was just making it up. And then, when Roseanne got into trouble, they killed her off and said she'd like die from like prescription overdose. And I'm like, really? You're gonna do Roseanne like that?
They said she had an overdose.
Like prescription, like
Are
drugs.
you joking?
Yeah, and that made me even more mad. Oh right, okay, Michael Fisher. Wait, Michael. They killed off Valerie. So remember when they killed off Valerie and they made it the Hogan's family? That's the same thing. They made it Valerie Harper. She was on the show called Valerie with Jason Bateman.
I remember Valerie. Yeah,
and then. I think the T was on that was that Valerie and Jason Bateman hated each other, and it was like, and that's what happened with that. So they killed off Valerie, and then they brought in Sandy Duncan with her glass eye, and then Sandy Duncan.
I want to go back to Roseanne. How did they kill off Roseanne? A drug overdose? Seriously, John?
Wait, hold on, wait. Just got on. Did I miss the happily ever after recap? No, we're on Roseanne right now, so you didn't miss much.
Okay, let's get back on track.
No, but to go back to Roseanne, because we stray. That's part of our characters. Is that they said that she was taking too many prescription drugs. Opioid overdose for Roseanne. That's how they killed off Roseanne.
That doesn't even make any sense. That they gave her a drug problem. What?
Well, in that reboot season that she did, she was showing like how she was like hoarding like I be very careful, like Schmicodins. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She was hoarding those, and I guess they left it to that's how she.
Nothing pisses me off more than when I'm watching a really good show and then the finale sucks, like The Sopranos. We don't know if they died. What happened? It makes me mad. You got to do it right or don't do it at all.
But, now the Connors have been on for 3 seasons and Roseanne was always my favorite show. So now I'm like, I kind of want to watch it. Oh, and I've had the biggest crush on Jason Bateman since like 1987. I think I was gay. I found out I was gay because I wanted to marry Jason Bateman.
Is he related to Justine?
Yeah,
Bateman?
from Family Ties. They're brother and sister.
Okay.
And I've always had like a lifelong crush on Jason Bateman. I love him so much.
Where do you see him? What show does he work on?
Oh, well, he's in a lot of movies now. But I think the last TV show he did was like Arrested Development. Oh wait, he's in that Fargo, Omaha. What's that show? He's Ozarks. That's it. There we go. Yeah. So I would leave Cody for Jason Bateman.
You did not just say that. Really, John?
I'm out. Love me some Jason Bateman. I've always had a crush on him. All right, so going back to the show. All right, so we talked about. All right, so Molly and Louise. Louise showed up. He's a piece of shit. He still is, and that's that.
Okay, listen though, John. How do we not know that some of the things that he said about Molly isn't true, like her following him on Instagram?
Oh no, she really didn't deny it.
Yeah, she did not. Yeah.
So, doesn't she still do now? Is she still following him?
When I last checked, let me go check now. She was following him.
And the thing was, like, Sean kept pushing him on the immigration thing.
She did.
And from what I hear, and I think Molly was right when, Luis had married that other girl in Jersey, like 3 months or 4 months or 5 months afterwards. But that wasn't enough to keep him in the country. So last I read, and a few months back, was that he was like in the stages of getting deported.
And the wife, the wife, right? The wife.
I don't know about the wife, but definitely him. So that's why I think he kept dodging that bullet, because he didn't want to answer. And like a lot of people, okay, does anybody else think that Luis and Kelly look similar? Because I did. I thought they were like brothers.
They look like cousins,
right? I thought that they were related.
Yeah. She's not following him now. That's good.
And then I think I commented on somebody else's post about it. Somebody posted, do you think they look alike? And I raised my hand. I said, I do. And then Molly replied to me. She's like, no, one's Dominican, one's black. They don't look.
No, I don't care. Look, Dominicans could look black because some of the slaves were dropped off over there. Have you heard? So they could be dark, just like
I
Kelly.
feel like anything I say in this conversation will get me in trouble, so I'm just going to agree with you.
Okay. Every time you do that now, it cracks me up.
I'm just going to say, all I'm saying is that I thought that they looked alike, and we were laughing. And I'm like, all that matters, Molly, is that you're happy, and that's that. Are
they still together? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even. That tell-all. When was the tell-all? It was like a few months back, so I'm not sure. Probably. I don't know. All right. So, do we have to talk about Fernanda? No. Like, thumbs down.
I mean, she's dating her roommate. There, you summed it up.
There it is. So good luck, Fernanda. You weren't there for me, John. Like, I was never a big Fernanda fan. But she looks great.
As always.
Here she's another person here on borrowed time. Jonathan never put in her adjustment.
No, she doesn't have a visa.
Maybe now. I don't know. But last I heard, was that Jonathan never filed for her adjustment of status, so she never got the green card. So she's kind of in that limbo situation like Larissa is.
Well, this trips me out because she keeps saying she has family here.
I could be wrong. But that was my understanding on it. And yeah, her dad lives in Texas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Good luck to you, Fernanda. Yeah, Jonathan withdrew the affidavit. So he never did the adjustment of status, which would give Fernanda the green card. But Fernanda, it was a year or two ago, did this seminar for abused women, saying she was abused by Jonathan. So
whoa, what do you mean? Wait, what?
It was like 2 years ago. I have to like dig for it, but I have it somewhere. And I know, Larissa's still here because she's like in that limbo because of the stuff that went on with Colt. So I don't know, and I'm not trying to compare what Larissa went through to what Fernanda went through or whatever. But I feel like they're both still here. Well, Larissa's got her icing coming up. But as far as Fernanda, I don't know. She seems to be very confident
Is there a chance, John, that Larissa could get deported? You don't know.
I would think that it's in the realm of possibilities. Yeah, Fernanda had done that YouTube video about the Jonathan. Like that was like I think back in 2019. Like it was like her story, and she had it like professionally done.
Was she saying that he assaulted her?
It was so long ago. I could barely remember, but it was abuse. I don't know if it was physical or mental or both. I don't want to get misquoted here. Look what I just
went through especially for this. Yeah.
Look what I just went through with Yara, just saying like look at the nicer things in life, you know. So I don't want to get misquoted. But she did do like a tell-all. So Maury says Fernanda made a video on that. She was mentally abused. So she looks great now.
Yeah.
And good luck, Fernanda. You're in Miami. Say hi to Pal. You know, maybe go to Pal's wrestling events. Show her some support. Maybe Fernanda and Pal could like be a tag team. People, you know, they could, you know.
Well, they're both into fitness,
right?
And all of that. Yeah.
I mean, that's an idea. Shit. Maybe I should message them both and be like, you and Pal should like wrestle together. That would be something. They would actually probably get like a lot of traffic if they did. 90-Day Fiance wrestlers. So all right. So
it just seems like those two will be friends, though. They kind of remind me of each other.
I don't see why they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know, they're both fiery and pretty and athletic, and they're, you know, trainers and go to the gym. So why not? All right. So who do we cover? Molly, Brittany, Colt, Big Ed. Big
Ed. Big Ed's going to come up on another spinoff. Love him or hate him, he is ratings gold. People always watch him. We can't stop watching.
I think a lot of people like hate him now than like him. You know, when he was first on, like last year, a year and a half ago, when he was on before, you know, people thought he was, oh, look at this cute little man. Like, you know, he's got no neck and he puts mayo in his hair and he's like, you know, he's like 3'7" and, you know, he's cute. I want to put him in my pocket. But now I think people kind of see Ed for what he's worth.
Jerk.
And yeah, and I don't get. Okay, we talked about this on your channel, which I think it's worth mentioning again. I don't understand these people. Okay, like with Kelly and Molly. Kelly's like, I want a kid. And Rebecca and Zied's like, I want a kid. You know, you knew what you were signing up for when you started dating them. Like, you know, you knew when you started dating a 50-year-old woman that you probably aren't going to have a kid with her. So why is this an issue now?
Yep. Unfortunately, you're telling the truth. This is something that you deal with in the beginning of a relationship because it can be a deal breaker. Where's what?
Smoke weed every day.
I forgot I quit playing my thingies. I got to start doing them again. Remember when we first heard that F this, I'm out, we would dance. We were crazy.
But like it's like, you know, I don't know why they're making this a storyline because you knew it's like, you know, me, Cody dating me, right? And we're unhappily, and Cody's like, well, I want to have a baby and you can't be, you know, and now I can't bear fruit. It's like, well, you kind of knew I wasn't going to be able to give you kids when you started it.
Like, John, what is happening with 90 Day? Like, it used to be so good. We used to like could not wait until it came on. And now the single life, that's good. So maybe they can't go back to the good old days. But I also understand what's going on. Is it too scripted now? What in the world is going on?
I don't know. Like, I put on Happily today and I told Cody, I'm like, I'm dreading watching this because like I really don't care. I mean, the only people I care about are Angela and Tiffany. And like, look, I just posted one thing about Yara trying to look at the bigger things in life, and I got my head ripped off.
Yeah, that doesn't make you want to cover them either when they're acting like jerks.
You know, it wasn't even like anything bad. You know, I don't know. I'm having a really hard time lately just enjoying the show.
I mean, but we enjoyed the single life. So what's going on? Why can't we get past 90 Day? Why can't we get past happily?
Luna goes, I'm waiting for Submit to ask Jenny for a baby. Well, you know what? That might be a storyline on their next season. Wait for it.
Yeah.
You know the parents want one, so there it is.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But I don't know. Maybe the app is like the better way now, because at least that seems like a little bit more raw and real than what's being aired on TLC.
I'm about to get you in some serious trouble, okay?
Good, because I need to be in more trouble tonight.
You do. So why isn't Happily hitting it, as good as it used to be? Why was 90 Day? Could it be the new cast?
I personally think that they should not have brought, and that it's got nothing to do with what has happened, but Jovi and Yara shouldn't be on. Brandon and Julia shouldn't be on. Mike and Natalie should definitely they should be like exiled, like just be thrown somewhere else. And Andre and Libby, I mean, they've been on for 4 seasons now, right? Every season Libby and Andre have been on, it's Andre doesn't have a job and he's asking the family for help.
Every season. Every
storyline.
Well, that's it. Maybe the storylines are getting dull. I don't know what's going on, but it's different than when it used to be. But the single life was so good. I really thought it was good. Their tell-all was great.
I love Kalani, but I think that Kalani's whole storyline is as much fiction as Libby and Andre's. I don't believe any of it. Not a singular word. I think Kalani is funny and pretty and smart and bright, but I don't believe anything that's going on in their storyline, and that's what's making it hard. And maybe I'm being like a little, I don't know, maybe it's coming out in what I post and saying like, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, like blah blah. But like, and I think we know a lot, and we probably know too much about how.
That's it. That's our fault. I think we know too much.
Yeah. And that's a big thing too. Like, we don't have like the eyes that people like new viewers might see now on TV or, or people who aren't on Instagram or social media who follow any of this stuff. But, like we know what's up and kind of hard. Like I would feel like I would be doing you guys a disservice if I watched that show, right? And I said, "Oh, Libby and Andre are going. They're really such a great couple, and they're really battling."
Yeah.
Like then I would be lying to you, and I don't want to do that. And that's kind of like, oh wait, Steph, they shouldn't have brought a new cast back on so soon. The app is where it's at. Thank you, Steph. But I would be lying to you if I said I was supporting these people, and I don't want to do that because. I don't. And when I did that, I guess maybe that has something to play with, like when I posted about Yara, saying maybe just look at like the positives instead of the negatives.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she's secretly already mad at us because we keep giving them scathing reviews. So that just, set her off.
I never even said anything bad about Jovi or Yara ever.
I did.
I even posted. It's still on my page about their wedding, how cute I thought it was, that they got married by Elvis. I thought it was very hip, like it was like the, young people who, and then like, Elvis people, there aren't many young Elvis fans out there because people don't know who nobody cares. So I've always kind of complimented them, and I was just saying, don't be so negative. Look at you're not at death's door. That's it.
Yeah. Yara's going through something. I don't know what she's going through, but it's not that serious, Yara. It's not.
And me saying what I said is not the end of the world.
No, John, you know how long me and you have been doing these things? You know how many we have said so many bad things that we should have got in trouble for.
Said some horrible things.
I know. And then she gets mad at this. I know. Do you remember that time I called Jenny a tramp on accident? She didn't get mad.
I've called some cast members some less than stellar things. I'm not going to repeat them.
No, the fight you and Brittany had going on. That
Oh my
was
God, me and
gold.
Brittany, like, or me and Tanya. Oh my God, me and Tanya.
You
That
and
was
Tanya
like,
used to go at it?
oh God, me and Tanya had this fight one time that like every magazine wrote about it. It was like the Thunderdome. Sarcasm did a meme of me and Tanya in the Thunderdome. It was like this epic fight.
What started it? Can you talk about it or no?
Oh God, I can't stand Tanya.
Don't drudge it up if it's going to bring it back. But I was saying, like, we have said things about people that they really should be mad at, and Yara's mad about this because it doesn't make sense.
Anything bad, and like, you know what it is? It's mostly like Yara must have, like, you know, told the crew to come over and defend her on my. It's like people who I never saw comments on any of my posts before ever. Like, they're like, "Oh, go fuck yourself, Yates. You don't know what you're talking about. You'll never be pregnant." I'm like, I never claimed that I could ever be pregnant. Like, all I'm saying is, like, you know, it's not as bad as it seems. And like, maybe you shouldn't be fighting for Gucci bags. Like, you know.
It makes sense. There's one cast member, literally, John, I fought with the entire season. Like, back to back. Just every time I saw them, we would go in at each other. And what is wrong with Yara? Like, is she spoiled?
I've got nothing against Yara. I really don't. Like, you know, good luck. I don't really like any of the new cast. Like, you know, I don't like Brandon and Julia. I'd rather watch grass grow than watch Brandon and Julia.
I kind of like Julia. What do you think about her? You don't like her either?
All she does is, I go Russia. Then go and take Yara with you. Just go. Like, I'm done. Like, you know, I'm tired of people. It's always, the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I go Russia. You know,
Yeah.
Ukraine. Then go. There's whoosh, leave. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah, I don't think just think back over the years, John, all the cast members that we battled it out with, and she's mad about that. Like, I've said some crazy things, or I don't want to dredge it up, but I've gone toe to toe with a couple of them.
Well, you and Jenny had at it too.
Yeah, but it was me and Jenny had it at it, but it was 10 times worse than that. Like, way worse.
Who?
He's your friend. You know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Oh my God, it was so bad. Till I just woke up one day, was like, I can't fight anymore. I just can't. It was crazy.
You know, and it just, I think the problem is with Happily Ever After, you need to have people on who just didn't graduate from 90 Day. Like, I think the whole point of Happily should be people who you kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
You know, 90 Day Fiance just ended. It was on for 4 or 5 months, whatever. And then you have half the cast from that show the week after on Happily Ever After. Yeah. How, you just got married a week ago. Now I'm supposed to see how
from Happily
Ever After.
Who did not come over to Happily? Was it who?
Well, Stephanie.
Guys, okay, well, that's self-explanatory.
I didn't make it to Happily, and so I'm sorry. Harris didn't want to come. I can't say someone else's name, and I don't want to. So that couple. The one, Amira.
Oh, God. Thank God. But that's only 2 storylines that they dropped.
I don't even want to talk about. I'm good to not ever discuss that person.
Ever.
Who else was on? I don't even...
I think that's it. They dropped 2 storylines and then brought back the rest of the cast. It just doesn't make sense why they did that. It really doesn't.
I would much rather see like someone like DeVar and Melanie back on, or Kyle,
I remember them.
Or Kyle and Noon. Hell, you know what? I'd even watch Ashley and Jay over.
Are you sure about that?
I would. To be honest with you, I would rather watch Ashley and Jay over Brandon and Julia, and because they've gone their own ways now. It actually might be quasi interesting to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Larissa, but she's done for other reasons. But there's a lot of different cast members that I would rather see than somebody who just got married and they're young and they're in their 20s and they're like,
Or maybe it has something to do with Corona. Maybe they thought, we already have these people tested. They're ready to go. It'll be too hard to go out and find someone else. Plus, they're stopping and filming because Corona was going on. And maybe that's what happened. I'm giving them an out here. I'm just saying.
like, all these people in their 20s are like, life's so hard. Like, wait. Like,
Yeah.
anything. So the countdown's still going. So Stephanie has
No, John, how much time do we have?
3 days.
2 days?
3 days. 3 days for.
And she has not come out and made a statement yet?
That's not as far as I could see.
Check her social. Because I'm interested. I'm invested in Stephanie getting in trouble. She can't get in trouble about this. Just swallow your pride, Stephanie, and apologize.
The last post from Stephanie was 3 days ago about her and her dog.
Oh,
And she has not said anything since. So, don't know.
No deal. Okay.
You said, no deal!
No, I mean, listen, she really is going to get in trouble by the attorney general. What?
Oh, did you hear about this? I don't know if you know about this. Did you hear about that yesterday?
No.
You remember when Ashley and Jay were at the barber?
Yeah, I remember the barber. What happened?
Got murdered. There was a shooting at the barber shop.
At the barber shop?
Yeah, and he died.
Oh my gosh. No, I didn't hear about that.
It's
That's
really,
horrible.
I know a lot of people, me and Ashley kind of fizzled out, but I do feel bad for her and obviously his family because that sucks. And I'm sorry to hear that. And I do know that Ashley was friends with him, and they spoke. So I do feel bad for Ashley, and I hope she's doing okay.
That's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
So yeah. It's bad. And she used to speak when we were friends. She would speak about him often and how nice he was to her. And he was a good friend to her. So I do feel bad for Ashley.
So where are we in the Ashley and Jay relationship? Are they back on again, off again? What's up?
As far as I know, Ashley I think she's opening up her own beauty salon in York.
New York.
That's where they live. Oh, York, Pennsylvania. York, Lisa,
yeah.
Ashley, they all live in the same area. I think the barbershop is in Carlisle. Anyway, so she's doing that, and I think that Jay is with Kaylan. She was the one that did the bottle service. She was the one that did the bottle service at the club that bailed Jay out of jail.
What do you mean he's with her? What do you mean?
Once Ashley and Jay broke up, Jay went back to Kayla. I don't know if her name is Kayla or Kaylin, but so
that wasn't for storyline. They really broke up.
Oh yeah, they broke up. I want to say in November, December. I really don't follow Ashley all that much anymore, but yeah, they broke up, and then Jay went back with her. And now Ashley's opening up her own beauty salon.
Wow, wow. Well, they were supposed to be unhappily. Something happened. I can't remember what it was.
They were unhappily, and then I think they ran their course. Lisa Ham and Ashley and Kaya, they're all from that York, Pennsylvania area. So. If you're close to York, maybe you'll run into one of them.
That's not my neck of the woods.
It's actually not that far from me, but maybe I should go visit. But yeah, that's what's up with Ashley and Jay. And then all right, so we're over an hour, but we didn't get to Angela. I thought Angela was super cute. Okay, since you know Housewives, doesn't Angela's friend JoJo look exactly like Sutton?
No, they could be cousins.
I'm telling you, we watched that scene, and I think that JoJo and Sutton are like long lost sisters.
They could be. Yeah, they could be.
I don't know. Sometimes I see things. I also think that Luis and Kelly look similar and related. So it could just be my bad eyes. I am old.
No, they said it. Didn't they say it on the show?
What?
That Luis looks like Kelly.
I think they look alike, but
do.
you know, I've been wrong before. So I know people were giving Angela flack for like, you know, her coming out of the anesthesia, and they're like, oh, you know, it's just she's acting. But listen, I had a 5-hour surgery, right? And if Cody was here, but he's on the phone in the bedroom talking, like when they tried to wake me up out of like anesthesia finally, like it took them like an hour to like get me awake. And like, you know, I guess I would wake up and fall back in and then wake up and fall back in. So when I finally remember waking up, I saw the doctor and I go, is everything okay? And she goes, yes, everything was fine. And I go, because I had a plate in my arm, I had a skin graft, I had like a few things done. So I'm like, is the plate in? And she's like, she's laughing, and she goes, yeah. And I go, why are you laughing? And she's like, this is the 15th time you've asked me that question.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, I've been up 15 times. She goes, well, kind of. You wake up, you ask a question, you go back. You wake up, you ask a question, you go back. And I go, where's Cody? And when she asked where Michael was, I thought that was so sweet because she was like, you keep asking for Cody. He's on his way in. She goes, you know, after surgery, they have you like in like that, like, you know,
resting area. Yeah.
Yeah, that area.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, we couldn't have him come in until like you were like with it. So like, I'm like, where's Cody? And she's like, he's on his way now that you're awake. But
you're lucky you woke up, John.
Well, I had like I was out for five hours. So I mean, they had to put a plate in my arm and like graft my bone back together like that. Like, see that dent? That's
you
like
still have a plate in your arm?
Yeah. See this dent? See this dent that goes from like, do you see it?
Yeah, I see it. Now that you mentioned it.
It goes from my wrist to my elbow.
Why did they put that in your arm? What did you do?
It's got 12 screws. Because my arm is broken and it would not heal. So they had to like put my arm back together.
What happens when you go through security check at the airport?
I never had an issue.
Oh, wow.
But so I know what it's like. And when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, she asked for Michael. And Cody's like, oh my God, you were asking for me. So yeah, it was cute. I'm happy that, like, you know, and you're not really with it when you're coming out of anesthesia at all. So the fact that she was asking for Michael was like very endearing because she really does love him.
Angela needs her own spinoff just by herself. Yeah, they need to stop joking around and just give her spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's did we cover Tiffany and Ronald? It's Tiffany's birthday, so happy birthday, Tiffany.
Today?
Yep. I love her. I like Ronald. And I thought Ronald was like a little bit too rough with Daniel when he was like talking to him via the FaceTime. And he's like, you're coming to South Africa. And Daniel's like, I don't want to. He's like, but you're coming. And like, you know, I was like, maybe hold off a little bit on that. You know,
Daniel was holding his own. No.
Yeah, he was like, listen. And he goes, I'm not leaving. So my mother, but we're not going there. But Daniel's such a good little boy. Tiffany is a sweetheart, and I love her. And I hope that, you know, spoiler alert, we all know that Tiffany goes there because, you know, she was there on social media. So you'll see them in South Africa because she was posting from South Africa like the last, like, you know, few months.
I'm thinking that when Angela gets healed, the show will pick back up.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much Angela action this episode. Yeah. So what's on the app now that we could watch that's better than this?
Nothing. So we're just down to this, unless they bring up.
It's so sad. We're like.
So we messed up. We should have been watching the app when Single was on, Single Life, but we didn't know. But now, nothing. So
All right. So
we'll
yeah,
be back though next week.
yeah, for more fun, happily ever
Yeah.
after recaps.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk about more Roseanne next week. And again, to everybody who is butthurt about my Yara post,
That's the most ridiculous thing, John. Every time you bring it up, it makes no sense to me.
it is what it is. Let's see. There's I don't know.
Did you respond to her?
I did, and then
What'd you say?
I responded to a bunch of other people who are ripping me apart. Like, okay, here, let's read some. You want to read some of the comments on this? People telling me how awful I am for saying what I said.
Yeah.
Wait, I had to go. There's 105 comments on this one thread alone. So let's just get into it.
105.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that's on one thread.
Oh my God. Well, what? Read it. What are they saying? It's
I have
crazy.
to. I have to like load them all. Hold on one second. It takes a minute.
Oh no.
Okay, here we are at the beginning. So Yara says, firstly, when I was in the Ukraine, I didn't know what Jovi would be leaving for more, that he'd be leaving for more than a month. And yes, I was not ready for the fact that he would leave for 4 months. And mom Jovi lives an hour and a half away. She cannot come to see me every day, and she has her own life. I came to America to live with Jovi and not with her. And what's wrong with the fact that I want to be with Jovi a little longer? Now, granted, none of the stuff that in her reply I said. Like, you know, I didn't say
Yeah.
So somebody says, not to mention you spent 7 months alone and pregnant shortly before this because of COVID. Didn't take that away from her.
Right.
No, said that she didn't. So this other person goes, Jovi's gross and treats you like trash. I replied to Yara and I said, hey, Yara, thanks for replying. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to be with your new husband longer. My point was that a lot of mothers don't have any or very little support, and you have a husband that provides for you and a mother-in-law who's willing to help. Thinking, okay, maybe if you didn't understand me the first time, that would clear it up. Oh no,
Did she respond?
Oh yeah.
No, John.
Then someone told me, don't speak on something that you aren't going through. She just had a baby and her hormones are all over the place.
But no one.
Wait, it gets better.
No one said it. Who said that? Oh my God. You have to ignore. Do we have to put Yara on the do not disturb list and start ignoring her?
It gets better. Then that same person says, doesn't mean you get to invalidate her feeling or tell her how lucky she should feel. Okay. Let's see. But then someone said to me, but Yara is not like all other moms. Let's not compare her to all other moms. She just had a baby, and in her mind, he would be there longer with her and the baby. I think her reaction was fair. She just wants her husband to be home longer. Everyone would be upset with her if she just said, okay, go, and did not get upset. She can't win. Give her a break. She's a new mom.
Wow.
Oh, that there's like 100 more after that.
John, is this really going on in the comment section? I can't.
Yara says to me, so many people jump from the roof. I have to jump too. I react to a situation by how I feel it, not how others react and what they will think. And why is everyone talking about Gwen? It seems to me that she never said that she wants to help me every day, and she cannot because she lives an hour and a half from me. So that's her shading Gwen right there.
Oh my God.
She's mad in this comment. She's mad that people keep talking highly about Gwen, but everybody ignores that. So, she doesn't want Gwen to be the good guy.
This might be worse than I thought, John.
Oh, wait, I'm telling you, there's like 100 after this. Someone said these people with their opinions probably never moved to another country alone and then had to adjust to a spouse being gone a lot and having a newborn and dealing with COVID all at the same time. When I was 18, I moved to Sweden, blah, 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 whatever. All I said was just be happy that you have good things.
Yeah. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's going on here that we don't know about. There's got to be something more to this because this makes no sense at all.
Like, I just don't get it.
And you never will because it doesn't make any sense. You just said be more positive. There's worse situations. And then someone gets mad.
Worse places
you don't know what you're talking about. What?
I'm a newborn mom hater now. I'm a pregnancy hater now. I am a postpartum hater now. Then Yara says to me, well, you don't know much, but it's okay to have options. I guess she meant opinions.
Are you joking?
And yes, Gwen, the best mother-in-law in the world, but it's not the same when your own mother is around. This is difficult to explain to a man. And she puts like the Heidi face emoji.
Ooh, okay. If you say so.
Just go to my Instagram page and look at the last post. You guys can all just either eat me alive like they are or whatever you want to do. Your call. That's it.
This wouldn't even John, do not give this one more second of your time. This is the craziest, dumbest thing I ever heard of. It's ridiculous.
It's fine. You know, the people who
I agree with someone. She's acting entitled. Someone said, I agree. Because this is dumb. There are real problems in the world, okay? Real problems going on.
Go look at my Instagram post. It's the last thing I posted. Y'all can, I really don't think I said anything untoward at all. All I said is that, you know, be grateful. Look for the silver lining that you're not alone, that you have help, and you have a husband and a mother-in-law who want to help you. And you're not in the same ridiculous position that Christy's in, you know, from
yeah, really.
And that's that. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up because we're at an hour and 20 minutes. I want to thank everybody for the super chats. Thank you so much. I really appreciate them. I want to thank my co-host Sherelle for hopping on and having fun with me. I also want to thank my moderators who always do a stand-up job, hardest working moderators in the business I have. That's I really do. Everybody. When I hit lotto, you're all gonna have mansions. I promise. Everybody have a great night, and then we'll be on sometime for Sister Wives tomorrow at some point. Oh, speaking of Sister Wives, part 7 will be coming up soon. There's somebody else.
No,
it's coming forward. Yeah,
John. No.
Yeah.
You're killing it.
Yeah,
you're killing it.
So I actually have to get off this and talk to somebody. That's part 7's coming. With somebody new who is also screwed over by them.
This is good, John. This is good. This is good.
Anita, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But part 7 it's going to be good. And I see one more thing before I go. I see people in comments about Sister Wives, and they're like, I don't believe any of this. Like, you know,
you have people who say that, John?
Yeah, and I'm like, how many people have to come forward? How many different people do you have to hear from to make you believe that something is the truth? Like,
what is it that they don't believe? She's telling her story.
These are the same people who I bet think that Bill Cosby never did anything. You know, like it's like that type of mind frame. And like, you know, I've never been in the situation where, you know, you're kind of in this like snowball that, you know, it just gets, you know, I'm happy that stuff is getting exposed, and, you know, people are, because it's not easy for these people to come forward.
Not.
And especially with the Snowdens are scary people. And, you know, and they know where everybody is. So it takes a lot for these
You
people.
haven't had a response yet from the Snowdens calling you, reaching out to you?
I'm waiting for like Dimitri to be outside my window. Like,
Yes.
no, listen,
It's not a joke, John.
no, I'm not even kidding with you. Like,
One day he's gonna come after
if
you.
I ever disappear,
Yeah.
just either look for me in Dimitri's backyard or one of Yara's fans. Either or, I'll be either in one of those two places. But they're
John,
like
that's funny.
they're scary, no joke. And like,
Yeah.
for people to come forward, it takes a lot for them. So I have like a lot of respect, and also the people who are coming forward, like, are getting nothing out of this. They're not getting. They're not doing it for fame. They're not doing it for clout. They're not doing it to be on TV. They're doing it to make sure that people don't get themselves stuck in a position that these people are in now.
Yeah.
And that's the most altruistic and genuine thing I could think of. They're not doing, they're not getting paid. They're not, they're just speaking out because they're trying to make sure that nobody ever gets fucked over again. And
well, John, I want everyone to know that you're working hard. This isn't easy.
No.
This is not easy. And people need to know you're putting work in behind the scenes and getting, people to share their story, which is important, because that will hopefully minimize the number of victims in the future that gets caught up in this mess. So,
no, I told you yesterday, yesterday I woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then till about 4 o'clock at night, I didn't even get to put my TV on yesterday. It was just stuff. And there's so much to it. But I'm happy to be putting the word out there. And
I see a lot of people are, I wouldn't say stealing your story, sharing. Should we use that word?
No, sharing is, listen, sharing is good. We want as many people to know about this as possible. So I have no issues with anybody sharing it. I hope that everybody does. I hope, I know it's gotten a lot of press. I know a lot of YouTubers have covered it. And I hear your dog's barking.
That's my dog. Sorry.
But there's more. There's going to be more. And I'm going to keep doing it until every last person has had their voice. So.
Yeah, that's good. I'm proud of you, John. Good job.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And I can't wait to see part 7. Good.
It's coming up. All right. So guys, again, thank you very much. Have a great night. And love you all. And I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.